Today we're talking about simple, polite ways to speak English in real life situations. Examples of like ordering coffee, riding the bus, talking at work, shopping, hanging out with friends, etc. Hi, my name's Adam and this is English with Adam. And the thing is, polite English is not only about the grammar, it's also about the tone, the attitude, and choosing soft, friendly phrases that make conversations feel more comfortable. So, let's jump right in. A lot of English learners actually know the vocabulary and grammar, but sometimes they sound too direct without meaning to. And that's totally normal. English speakers often soften their language to sound friendlier. So today we're going to practice those polite phrases for things like ordering coffee, public transportation, work, shopping, and social conversation with friends. And yeah, we'll also talk about handling mistakes professionally and communicating in a calm, respectful way. Okay, for the first point, imagine you walk into a coffee shop. Maybe you're nervous. Maybe it's busy. Maybe the person behind the counter is speaking fast. The good news is you really only need a few polite phrases. Instead of saying, I want coffee, try saying, I would like a coffee, please. Or, can I have a latte, please? Those sound much softer and friendlier. Let's practice a little. Hi, can I have a medium coffee, please? Or, hello, I would like an iced latte, please. And don't forget the magic word, please. Adding please changes the whole feeling of a sentence. Here's a short example of a conversation. Hi, can I have a cappuccino, please? Sure, what size? Medium, please. Anything else? No thanks, that's all. See? Very simple, but polite and natural. And honestly, English speakers notice politeness a lot. Small words matter. Alright, next situation. Crowded buses, trains, subways. Yeah, those can feel stressful. Let's say you see an empty seat, but you're not sure if someone is using it. Instead of just sitting down immediately, you can politely ask, excuse me, is this seat taken? That phrase is super common. Let's say it again. Excuse me, is this seat taken? If the person says, no, go ahead, that means the seat is free. Another useful transportation phrase is excuse me, can I get by? You can use that when you're trying to get by people. And notice something important here. We use excuse me before the action. That leads perfectly into our next section. Excuse me versus I'm sorry. This confuses a lot of learners. And honestly, it's really common. Excuse me and I'm sorry are different. Use excuse me when you want attention, you need to pass by, or you want to ask a question. Examples: excuse me, where's the bathroom? Excuse me, can I get through? Now, I'm sorry is usually after a mistake. Like if you bump into somebody. Oh, I'm sorry. Or maybe you interrupted someone. I'm sorry, please continue. So think of this like if it's before the action, it's excuse me. If it's after mistake, it's I'm sorry. That little different makes your English sound way more natural. Alright, now let's move on to more professional. Maybe you're at work and you need help from a coworker. Instead of help me with this, a better way is excuse me, could you help me with this? That sounds respectful and professional. You can also say, could you help me with these reports? Could you show me how this works? And here's something really important in workplaces: softening feedback. Imagine your coworker forgot something in a project. Instead of saying, "You forgot this," you could say, "I think we might be missing something here." See how soft that sounds? It feels better instead of sounding aggressive. That kind of language helps people feel respected, and it helps with communication skills at work. Alright? Next situation: supermarkets. This one is super practical because everybody needs this in English eventually, even if you're a beginner or if you've been speaking it for quite a while. Let's say you can't find something. You can ask, "Excuse me, could you help me? Where can I find the rice?" Or, "Excuse me, where can I find the milk?" Very natural. And at the checkout counter, polite endings are important too. You can say "thank you" or "have a nice day." Simple but really friendly. Here's a quick mini conversation. "Excuse me, could you help me? Where can I find the bread?" The worker would say something like "aisle 5." "Thank you so much. Not a problem. Have a nice day." That's the kind of English people use every day when they want to be polite. Alright, now for the next part. Let's talk about social English. Let's say you meet a friend you haven't seen in a while. You can say, "long time no see." That phrase is super common and friendly. Then maybe you want to make plans. "Are you free on Saturday? Do you want to grab a coffee? Let's hang out sometimes." Very natural conversational English. And eventually, conversations end. English speakers often soften endings instead of leaving suddenly. You can say things like, "I have to go now, see you later," or "talk to you soon." Those make the conversations feel warm and natural. And honestly, endings matter too. They leave a good impression. Now, before we finish, I want to talk about a few important communication habits. First, mistakes happen. Everybody makes mistakes at work or in life. The important thing is being honest and polite. Instead of making excuses, you can say, "You're right, I understand, I'll fix it," or "thank you for letting me know," etc. That shows maturity and professionalism. Second, softer feedback creates better relationships, and also the tone of which you say something. There's been many times I've heard English learners try to say something, and because they use the wrong tone, it comes off as confrontational and causes issues in life and in the workplace. You can use phrases like, "I think we might be missing something," or "maybe we should double check." Sounds much kinder than direct criticism. And third, self care matters too. A lot of mistakes happen when people are tired. So if you have an important email or task, you should review it when you're focused and refreshed. That tiny habit can help a lot. Alright, everybody, that's all for today's episode of English with Adam. Today we practice polite English for coffee shops, public transportation, work, shopping, and social situations. And remember, being polite in English doesn't mean sounding formal all the time. It just means sounding thoughtful, calm, and respectful. Practice these phrases out loud, and that will help you a lot. And don't worry about mistakes too much. Mistakes are part of learning. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode of English with Adam. If you have any comments of what you would like to see in a future episode, or also if you want to put down some examples of how you're using this in real life. I would love to read those in the comment below. Thanks again and have a great day.